Hey twin, thanks for clicking on this video and popping in to have a chat with me. There's just a lot of chaos going on around here, and it's supposed to rain, but the sun's broken through the clouds. I figured this was a perfect time to start. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, thanks for stopping by. My name's Sabrina. You can also call me Patience, or Bina, or Bina Mina, or Babs, or anything else that comes into your heart. But the guides have been urging us to remain focused on what we want and remaining neutral about how everything's unfolding. Since they are aspects of you, you are the source of everything. The affirmations of what's to come they're happening just one after the other, right? I love to hear what you've been seeing recently, so please comment down below. But that the shifts that are happening, I mean, we had Friday the 13th, then Valentine's Day, then on Tuesday we had Lunar New Year, and also Ramadan started, and we also had Mardi Gras, and then the Ring of Fire solar eclipse, and then the new moon, and we also had Ash Wednesday on Wednesday. So just all these different energies, focuses, emotions coalescing together, and the main thing that they have been focusing on, urging us to focus on, is our super happy endings, is the highest, most preferred timelines that we see for ourselves. Because the cloud cover is so pretty. I'm sorry, I just got distracted. But like, to put it in perspective, when the current president of the United States was announced, I had seen all over social media how everyone was so anxious and worried and fearful. And so the outcome was more anxiety and fearfulness and worry. Interjecting Sabrina here because I was putting my groceries away and I realized I didn't finish my thought. But the whole Epstein files and all that stuff, the fact that, I mean, it's been in all of our faces the entire time. Energy farming of children is like one of the original egregores, okay? Pedophilia is a Greek word, and Greek is one of the oldest civilizations. So we've always known that this is going on. It's just now we're no longer willing to ignore it anymore. We're no longer willing to deny it. But the way that it's being presented, the way that it's being trickled out, and it's just this whole cat and mouse kind of thing with it, and then the blasé attitudes of those involved, and you know, them basically everyone that's involved in those files they should all be in prison, literally. They're the way I feel we can put them in prison is to just stop supporting them, just stop going to the companies that they own, just stop using the apps that they own, things like that. It's like all the powers within us. But that, oh, they can't put everyone in jail because society will crumble. Well, that's literally what's happening. We're having a total reset right now. And that's because we're no longer willing to ignore this, debauchery any longer. We're not willing to look away or pretend that is not happening. Because yes, silence is compliance, but then, you know, using discernment of when to take action. Because I had seen Bailey Sarian's video. Well, I just watched like the few moments of it. I used to watch her a lot on Snapchat years ago. And then I didn't really follow her on YouTube or anything like that because, I mean, all the stories, you can all just find them. I mean, most of them I've heard already, but she even said in the beginning of her video, she's like, even with all the stuff that I make content on and all the stories that I've read, nothing prepared me for what is in those files. And you know, and it's just that's what they want. That's what the egregore wants. The egregore wants you to be shocked in a state of either apathy or anxiety, right? Fear. It's also, what else did she say? Dang, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it was like, oh, so then after I had seen that video, then I had seen like a short in passing that was like why the elites would never accept you. And I was like, I don't want to be accepted. Why would I want to be accepted by people whose breath smells like literal shit? I'm okay, you know? I'm an elite category of my own, so don't really matter much to me. But yeah, it's just, you're aware, so when you see something, say something. But for the most part, knowing that this reset is necessary. This reset is, it's the final countdown. And even though, you know, I'm not worried about it, but since we're all one, they're all just reflecting deeper inner fears, right? Because we know the outcomes to everything, really. We already see the outcomes. You were saying you don't know, you don't know. You actually do. It's kind of why the way everything is rearranging is beginning to pick up speed. But we come to this point, and now, since the shift into Christ consciousness has been, the shift into Christ consciousness has been widening and widening and widening. You can call it the new earth. You can call it the new experience. It's all of those things. But more and more and more of us are creating this tsunami that's pushing more and more of us to go towards unconditional love, unconditional compassion for yourself. Knowing that what you've done is not, or what you want does benefit the highest good of all. Like, more, I'll go more into that, but like, basically with us focusing on higher frequencies, remaining neutral about a lot of things. I mean, I was participating in protests and everything like that. I signed petitions and things. But for the most part, the rebellion is within us. The revolution is in our minds. That's the language that they speak, the energy farming. So when you pull back your energy from everything and everyone and everywhere that doesn't align with or serve you here, now, forevermore, they feel that pull, they feel that shift. And so they're gonna start pulling out all the stops. It's the elders, okay? It's the antiquities. And while I do love antiques and bridging the past with the future, for our evolution, we select what are the best parts and leave what aren't. It's like GMOs, you know. A lot of people still don't really understand what genetically modified organisms are. A lot of people think it's like what they saw in, I think it was Big Top Pee-wee, where like he sprayed some stuff and they grew big. But some of those, yes, some GMOs are like that. But if you didn't know, watermelon is a GMO through centuries of selection, because the rind used to be much thicker and the flesh much smaller and even lighter in color. But through humans selecting ones with thinner rinds and more flesh, now we have watermelons as we know them today. And I had seen a video of another YouTuber that he cultivates jackfruit, and he was talking about how jackfruit can solve world hunger, but it takes time and it takes very particular growing conditions. I mean, if you live in tropics, subtropics, you're pretty okay, but any sort of cold frost will kill the tree. Like, the tree just gives up. And with the weather we've been having recently, I feel like these are the coldest days that we've had in a really long time. It's just like this, like Jack Frost doesn't want to let up. This is how I imagine is like the cold nights we've been having, I imagine are like the daytimes on the East Coast and the north and up north, you know. But it's just really interesting, just remaining to pause and prepare. But there's also that anticipation. Anyways, but he was saying that to select and basically genetically modify the jackfruit to be able to grow almost anywhere. He says, you know, if you have a greenhouse and you can grow a dwarf jackfruit tree, then that also will help to evolve this fruit. And that is like so when the outdated energies are waning and feeling that the stronghold is lessening, that's when you see more and more of their antics, right? And with the whole Epstein files and what's going on with Iran, and even all over the world, it's just a mad dash to bring you back down, to get you to step out of your courage, to get you to step out of your neutrality. You can only do what's within your power. So if you're focusing on what you can't do, then that's just going to build those blockages, those obstacles, perceived obstacles. But what you focus on what you can do, you evolve and have the power to bring those resources into your experience. I mean, we see how many of us change. Those are the people we remember, the ones who change history. Yes, the celebrities and everything like that are talked about. I mean, so many have passed away recently through different ways, and I mean, but it happens all the time. Every second, every blink of an eye, one of us is leaving the experience in one way or another. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be worried about. Because you come back anytime you want. You come back anytime you want. Just depends on the conditions that you come in under. But remaining focused on all that you do have and all that you do see for yourself. And knowing that this is just a delayed movie. This is just, I mean, there's ways to quantum shift into, just silence that. There's ways to quantum shift into where there is no delay. I mean, it's all in what you tell yourself, really. I have been noticing that the lag is lessening because I'll get a download and then not too long after it's affirmed heavily within 3D. So I mean, I got a download that I'm going to meet some new Mycopia friends. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I didn't know. So the other night I was walking and I was just like, oh, actually it was like the night before, when I was walking in the rain. I was like, oh, I wonder which because the download was that I haven't met them before. So I was like, oh, which ones am I gonna meet? I'm so excited to find out. And then last night, I went on my walk. I have a quick message about that, but I went on my walk, and when I got home, I was watching YouTube before bed, and immediately on my For You, I saw a video about blue meanies. I was like, oh, okay, I haven't met them before, so cool. And then basically they got their name from the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. And I'm at a park where I had actually seen the Fab Four perform when I was in high school. So I was just like, nice, like all these affirmations and synchronicities of our intuition and how we know the next steps to take. Yeah, we may ask in moments of, in those moments of doubt, in those moments of uncertainty, in those moments of anxiety, in those moments of fear. But you're coming out of those moments even quicker than before because you remind yourself so easily how we live in a friendly universe that always has our backs. And while the how is none of our business, we always know that everything is unfolding perfectly for our highest good. But it's coming to the point where the how is being revealed to you, twin. You just picking up, and I'm sure you see in visions and dreams, but your third eye is just so awesome. Like, you can't see the world clearly through a calcified third eye, and you've just been working it into shape. So but the story that I have about my walk last night, I was actually walking by my old high school, and I saw this guy. Like, I saw him from far away, and he was trying to break into the school. He had a backpack, and it was like, there's a car always parked there, even at night. I don't know. I see it sometimes if I'm over there. But I definitely knew he wasn't in that car because he was trying different doors and just pulling on them. So, me being alone, I was also smoking a joint, but me being alone, I just kind of was like, I'm not even going to make a sound. Like, what he's doing is wrong, but that's none of my business. What am I gonna do to stop him? They say, good people who stand by and do nothing are just as evil as the evildoers. But using discernment, like, he wasn't really hurting anyone, and I knew that if he did break in, the alarm would go off. So what was the point of me asserting myself and telling him what he's doing is wrong? He knows what he's doing is wrong. So I just, kept my steps swift and remained focused forward. It was just a small joint, like I just finished it, and then once I got to my car, I actually heard alarms going off over there. So I was like, it worked out exactly as I knew that it would, and I didn't have to do anything. But that, yeah, it was just something that I wanted to talk about, and either way where we're going, twin, it's better than we've ever been before. And we're going to have so much fun. Like, it's just the most fun that we've ever had before because we're together. So I'll see you in the next one. I'm gonna do a reading after this, so definitely check it out, okay? I'll see you soon. I love you.